We now invite PDG David Edwards to introduce our Zone 34 coordinator, Art MacQueen. Thank you. PDG David.
Thank you. Morning. Thank you. Well, I had the privilege of being in the Bahamas to hear Mike speak, our President's Rep Mike speak when he was there. And all I can say is with the 70-20, 70-30 battle or little battle between us, that he's gotten better. Now he's down in 70-30. He's like old wine. He was good then and he's better now. So good job. I'll report that to our mutual friend. So it's my privilege this morning to introduce to you Rotary Coordinator Art MacQueen, good friend. We trained together when I trained as a foundation coordinator and Art as a membership coordinator. His bio is in the magazine, and in keeping with our type of operation, we're not going to read that. However, the Art MacQueen that I know is short pants, red shoes, polka dot socks. Anything more? That's good. When I first met Art, never forget it, in Jacksonville at our first training, I saw this guy come in the shoes, the colors of the shoes, the colors of the pants. I said, well, who is this guy? He works at the hotel? Not in those clothes. And then I realized it's Art MacQueen. But we struck up a good partnership from then on, and Art MacQueen, what you see is what you get, red shoes and all. So without further ado, I introduce you, Art MacQueen.
Good morning. Is this one on? Good morning. So with all protocols observed, I want to especially thank District Governor Roger, District Governor-elect Waddy for inviting me to be a part of this event. I've had the pleasure, because of this role, to participate in their training and now Dominique's training in a series. They actually have to go get trained to do this. Does it show? Good. I just want you to know that everything they did right, that was me. If they did something wrong, there were other trainers there. Just keep that in mind. Roger asked me to talk a little bit about the zone, give you some information, a little bit more understanding of the zone. But I wanted to mention that no, we are not going to start this presentation with a back rub, as we did yesterday. I had a couple of people approach me yesterday and they said, Art, really loved your presentation. I got a great back rub. They didn't hear a word I said, but they liked that back rub, and I think there were some relationships that came out of that little exercise that we did. We'll not talk about that. So I want to give you a little bit of information on the zone and what is a zone, right? Zone 33 is our sister zone. It's everything above that red line. Bunch of states, all United States. Zone 34, 15 districts and 33,000 Rotarians, by the way. Zone 34, that's us. That's Georgia, Florida, and of course, all of you. This is as of December 30th, 2016. At that point, we were 14 districts, 25 countries, and a bit over 33,000 Rotarians. Then what happened on January 1, ABCs? I didn't know it, and I didn't suspect it, but I'm sitting in that fabulous auditorium last night, and 3 Canal, yeah, are jamming still. And I hear some people really getting excited, and I turn around, and the ABCs are all up, and they're jamming still. Who knew you guys had to get the ABCs into this district in order to learn how to party? What happened to you guys? So it changed a little bit. As Michael said, and by the way, Michael and I shared a stage last year. I had to follow Michael last year, too. It's not fair. Next time, I'm going to put in a note when I see we're both coming that I go first. We sound a little alike on some of the things, but you can't hear it enough. What Michael shared, perfect. And I'm going to share some of those same things, maybe with a little bit of a twist. So as of January 1, we grew a little bit, 33,238. Now in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, there are 12 zones. Roger wanted me to talk to you a little bit about how we're doing, how our zone is. Our zone, 29 districts, and there is a purpose. These red shoes are in honor of Governor Roger and his 28 classmates. They decided to call themselves the Rotary All-Stars. And they adopted the old Converse All-Star shoe. Now, any of you that are my age and were used to Converse All-Stars, maybe played some basketball when you were younger, I now know why I could not get more than about that far off the ground. They weigh about 1 kilo apiece. And they're not that comfortable, are they, Roger? You'll notice Roger's not wearing them today. And it was pointed out to me by one of my friends here that I was also wearing white socks today. So, how is Zone 34 doing? We lead the world in a lot of categories. Michael will support this, a lot of categories. I'm going to show you one that we lead in that's also a little scary. There's those 12 zones I was referencing. You'll see that there's only one zone from last year that grew. Congratulations, Zone 34. I actually got an email at the beginning of this Rotary year congratulating us. Our director at the time, Robert Hall, received the email. My counterpart in Zone 33 received the email. John Germ received the email. Ravi Ravindran received the email. And it came from RI and it said, congratulations, Zone 34. You were up 109 members. The rest of our area was not. Being the competitive guy that I immediately responded and shot an email right back and said, that's absolutely, I'll leave the word out, awesome. And I shot it off. Then I realized I had just told Robbie and John it was okay that the rest of the entire continent shrank as long as we grew. I immediately sent another email and said, I'm sorry guys, I just got a little excited. But it is exciting that we're growing and we're doing things a little bit different. We talk about this often. Michael and I shared some of this conversation the other day. His district actually is being successful because he used that word customer when he was talking this morning. I've used that word customer with you. Rotaractors, I'll use it with you. You are in a room with the people that make it happen in this part of the world. Nurture that opportunity. Yep, some of us are a little older. Some of us are a little stuck in our ways. Some of our clubs are a little slow to move on things. Change it. You have the opportunity to change us. We often talk about inducting younger members. I don't care, personally. I've met many of you, and I know that you're young here. I don't care your age in years. I care your age in your heart, and your energy, and your passion for what it is we do, and those we help. Michael thanked you. I thank you on behalf of the millions of people around the world that cannot say thank you personally for everything we've done for them, for everything you've done for them. D.G. Waddy talked about, and as well as PDG Milton, about polio giving. 60 cents saves a child from ever crawling in the dirt. Now, if someone said to you, for 60 cents, you can keep a child out of the dirt, how do you not reach into your pocket? How do you not be a part of that? And yet we have Rotarians, possibly in this room, because they're not aware of how long we've been doing this, that have never been asked. Give $1. If that's what you've got, if that's what your heart tells you to give $1. Make it part of your legacy that when this is over, and it will be over soon, you'll be able to say, I did that. I was part of that. Some additional resources throughout our zone. I am a Rotary coordinator, and no one in this room, save a few who have heard me before, know what that is. And that's okay. But I get the opportunity to share time with all the Rotarians in 34 when it comes to membership. These individuals and this presentation, I understand, will be available on your website or in your Dropbox file. It's pretty easy to tell what they do. We have a regional Rotary coordinator for Foundation and as well for public image. Sheila Bethel happens to be located in Nassau. Ivan is located in the Panhandle of Florida. We all have teams that assist us in helping you. It's our only job. I make the same paycheck that Michael does. We do this because it's our passion. We enjoy it. Someone asked me yesterday if I'd seen the island of Trinidad while I'm here. Nope. But yes, I've not only seen Trinidad, I've seen all the countries in the Caribbean by having the opportunity to get to be friends with all of you. Atlanta, was that fabulous last night? DG Roger, that presentation, that venue, those performers, those speakers, and when I die, I want that gentleman that moderated that event to do my obituary. He read every word of all of the bios, which are quite lengthy, as you already know, and I didn't care. It was great. Atlanta's just one. I want to encourage you to go there, because what we've done here with 500, 600, 700 people is great. Now put 40,000 like-minded people in one place doing the same thing. Someone asked me last night, did you like that? My response was, if you don't do this and check your pulse, because you're already dead. We did a parade of flags last night. Now imagine 200 plus countries and territories being marched in with their flags presented. You can't help but sit there, maybe even get a little tear, because that's us. I look in this room, we're having a mini United Nations meeting. When we do this, we're having a United Nations meeting. And by the way, we're one of only 2 organizations that is not a country that has a seat at the United Nations. Rotary. So, what is Rotary? If I asked you, and I always do, because I want to hear that 15-second elevator speech, that moment of impact that someone asks you, what you say? Wikipedia? Look at that. But look at that opening sentence. That opening sentence, Rotary International is an international service organization. Is that not what Kiwanis is? The Lions Club, the Elks, the Moose. I don't know the others that might be relative to the Caribbean. We are so much more than that. Do not lower us to those levels. I apologize to those of you that are members of those other organizations as well. We're more. You Google it, this is what you get. It's not bad. It's gotten a little softer, because I used to hear we're 1.2 million people around the world doing good. It's not bad. Maybe it buys me another 10 seconds, right? But we've shortened it a little bit. We're working on this. we join leaders, we exchange ideas, and we take action. Now, when someone asks me why Rotary, I say it changed my life. And I had a good one before I ever knew what it was. They usually look at me and they go, were you like an alcoholic or something and you needed some counseling? I said, no. Sponsoring a member. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand because you're the leaders. I'm sure you've all done this. But who have you asked to join our organization? There's 10 very good-looking folks on that screen. What's your guess as to how many of us as an organization out of 10 people ask somebody to join the organization we love? Let me hear them. What's your guess? Heard of 1. 2. You guys are kind of close. I didn't want to cut somebody in half, but it's actually about 1.5. So it's about 15% of the people in our organization will ever ask somebody to join. How can that be? We profess to love this organization, and yet we won't invite someone there. I shared with you yesterday that August is membership month. I asked you how many of you had a friend. Most of you raised your hand. Some of you are out of friends, apparently. Invite them, right? The lost art of the induction. Yes, a little bit of a play on words. Sadly, we induct members these days. We bring them up to the stage. We bring their sponsor up to the front of the room. And we ask their sponsor to stick a pin in them. Welcome our new member. And it's about that fast. I hope that's not you, but I see this when I travel, when I visit clubs. Sadly, it has become nothing. It's not important anymore. How can that be? You know, that's what it looks like. It looks like this. That's it. Why doesn't it look like this? Why isn't that new member, their family, maybe even a friend, invited to witness them being inducted into your club? Why wouldn't Michael's wife want to know what he finally said yes to after 8 years? Invite that family. Let them know that they're welcome too. They don't have to join, but they're welcome. Love them to join, but they're welcome. Who do you think? How many of you remember, and if you were inducted this year, it's not fair, how many of you remember who the president of Rotary was when you were inducted into Rotary? The president of Rotary. Few of you. How about who the district governor was the year you were inducted? Still not too many. Club president? A few. Now, how many of you remember who sponsored you? Everybody. I'm going to give you a name. You won't know it. Jackie Burrows. I thank her publicly and I thank her often. I was trying to sell her some telephone equipment. That's what I did. I'm a salesperson. I'm coin operated. She said, "You want to go to breakfast with me in the morning?" I said, "Well, I am married, but..." She said, "We have a club, it's friends, it's movers and shakers in the community." That's not what she said, but that's what she was inferring. I said, "Sure." I went because I saw a networking opportunity. I stayed because I saw that they were attempting to change the world. One person at a time, one school at a time, one child at a time. That's what we do. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Give someone the opportunity to thank you. Invite them to the greatest organization on the planet. Make your club so strong they'll never leave. Because they're going to think about this when you ask them, "What's it cost me?" But once they've been there for a while and you've got this, They never go away. It's been my absolute pleasure to get to share this week with you. Thank you very much.